and we had this interesting topic, man, about COs, actually female COs, full on brawl, man. If you saw the beginning of this episode, this and I'm talking as the post editing, but they literally got into a brawl in the damn elephant in full officer gear and everything. Did
Yeah,
you get a chance to check that clip out?
yeah. Very unprofessional, man. Very unprofessional.
Yeah, yeah. But it brings up a lot of topics for me. It brings up a lot of conversation for me, man, because first of all, let's take this step by step. What did you say that was unprofessional? I say the same thing. They're doing an investigation over this thing, talking about to see if there any violations. One thing that the producer even said, and I agree, maybe ethics, right? You know what I'm saying? There's a certain standard that you're supposed to carry yourself with in the uniform and at work, right? And if I didn't know these CEOs, I would swear these three inmates banging out. You feel me? But
Yeah,
it was CEOs, and so it brings this topic of like the state of jail, right? Now we in Georgia, we know about Wright Street, Clayton County, DeKalb County, right?
yeah,
First two I mentioned are treacherous, bad conditions, you know, all that, and well known for that shit for
yeah.
years. Been that way, right? And it's progressively gotten worse. Um, do you think that the reason why uh, jails are how they are is because of the level of COs that are being brought into the jail?
Elaborate when you say level of CEO. What type of level you talking about?
Say what?
When you say level of CEOs, what you mean?
Like, so look, it makes me think, what's the vetting process, right? Because when you go to jail, yeah, you might be in there for a crime, but let's say you go in there for a suspended license, right? You're not supposed to be in danger for, your life, and you there for a traffic violation, right?
Yeah,
But nowadays, it can be like that. It can really be life or death, and you simply paying for, uh, you know, a simple traffic violation type shit, right? Uh, and I think we've all seen videos where, a fight, oh shit, where a fight is going on, and in the fight, you're wondering where are the CEOs, where are the people that controlling this thing, right?
right.
Uh, and I think it starts to bring the point of, uh, I'm sorry, hold on. It brings the point of what's the vetting process. You know what I'm saying? What are they
Yeah,
doing to get the right officers into jail? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Uh, the time when I was coming up, where they recruited some, like certain police stations or police city, like you know what I mean. They would recruit some of the best for their city, right? But now I feel like they're just hiring anybody, right?
yeah,
And the producer brought up this idea that a lot of these people are like coaches. The theory behind coaches is those that can't do coach, right? That can't
yeah,
do teach. Those that can't be police do this sometimes, right?
yeah, yeah,
Uh, do you agree or disagree?
yeah. I agree because when
Yeah.
I was locked up in there from personal experiences, some of the CEOs was gang members and they was fighting the inmates. So it's like, who are you bringing in here, really?
Uh huh. So what?
The CEOs was gangbangers and they was fighting some of the inmates when I was in there.
Right.
So
Right. Um. Hey. Do you turn that down? Yeah, I agree with you. And you know what that brings me to? The controversy with Rick Ross. You know the rapper Rick Ross. Now a lot
yeah,
of people thought that, oh, he was just a fake dude, you know, who was a cop and then turned rapper. But there's a story that says that he was actually in there, to protect and to provide for a kingpin or a plug. You feel me? In this
yeah,
short amount of time that he was at CO, right? So I'd say that to just go along with the idea of the level of corruption. You feel me? How are they getting phones in the jails? How are they getting, there's trustees who get food, and it's just a bunch of stuff that's not even supposed to happen. You know,
yeah,
the
yeah,
criminals damn near running the jail. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes it's a good thing, most times it's not though. This is how death, murder, extortion, all these things happen, and you're like, where are the people that's supposed to be protecting or running this thing? Because CEOs are supposed to be officers. That's your correctional officers. You feel me?
yeah,
And
yeah,
if you're moving like the criminals, well then where's the law and order, right? And I'm not
right.
trying to be pro cop or whatever, but at the same time, it's necessary in some situations. You feel me?
I've recently seen some videos where the inmates got guns now.
So what now?
I recently seen some videos where the inmates got guns now.
The inmates don't have guns now, but they're able to make and get tools and things that they're not supposed to, and it's usually distributed through the trustees that have access right next to the officers. You feel me? You'll see them walking around with the officers, keep keen, doing like they buddy buddy. You feel me? And
Yeah,
it's because they're the greatest people in the world. It ain't because they earn a trustee level. It's sometimes nigga come in and they be like, yo, get him. You feel me? Now they
yeah,
have the jail. You feel me? They know where
right,
everybody's at. They're looking at paperwork that's not even supposed to that you're not even supposed to be able to look at. You feel
yeah,
me? So it's like, how can you get a fair shake in anything, right? How
yeah,
can you get, you know, any law and order if there's no order in the law?
yeah.
You feel me? And
I see.
so, not to go too far from this subject, but think about it. If the cops are fighting and jumping other cops in the damn precinct and moving worse or just like off dudes off the street or girls off the street. But then it brings you the question of like, okay, well, is it is it is it so far fetched that everything is fucked up? It's like, because now it's corruption from the rooter to the tutor. You feel me? From the
Yeah,
rooter to the tutor, right? And if you're not vetting, right? If you're not doing a thorough background check, the producer even said it was a mental evaluation or something. If you're doing mental evaluations, right? Because
right.
what is almost like a job fair hire type of situation. You know what I mean? They be like, oh, we need people. You feel me? You seen what cops be driving everything, they be like, we hire 'em. You feel me? So you're
Yeah,
literally just trying to get bodies in the jail, and you're taking anybody. And then you wonder why. Remember when they had those crazy kind of women? It was like five of them or something like that. It was like that got arrested. You feel me? For bringing in
yeah,
country, bringing in drugs, bringing in, you know what I'm saying? Cell phones, all this type of shit. You feel me? Like,
yeah,
I don't know who's connected to who. These people could be from the same gang, same neighborhood, same or all that shit, and they just got a job and they're moving. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
It's a situation, bro, and it's an unfair situation. You know what I'm
Like I said,
saying?
even even the cooks is corrupt. When I was in there, right? When I was in there, one of the inmates disrespected the cooks, and she paid another nigga's girl cash app
Uh huh.
so the nigga could stab the nigga who she had problems with, basically. And it worked out. She talked to him, hey, give me a cash app to send the money to, and then when I send money to your girl, I need you to stab that nigga right there. All because he disrespected her. And the whole plan went through. It was successful and all.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a scary situation, bro. When you think about it, when you really think about it, when you really think that this is supposed to be a place, excuse me, that you go there to get, when you get in trouble. And then you wonder why some people go in there and come out worse than they went in. You feel me? You only learning how to be a better criminal. And I ain't gonna lie, that's in some situations it's good. Like sometimes, listen, I'll tell you a story. I got locked up and I was sitting with this old guy. He taught me so much on how he moved. We was just playing chess, man. He didn't even nobody fucked with him. Everybody respected him. He was the real one. And but he didn't talk much. He only talked at the chessboard, and he dropped real knowledge on how to maneuver. He was passing along the things that he wish he could have done. You know what I mean? That's a different time. Now it's just young niggas running wild in the jungle. You feel me? Inside of
Yeah.
here. You feel me? Melee. No order. And the COs are just sitting back, watching, sitting back watching.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, what the fuck is this shit? You feel me? And
Mhm.
you don't know who to trust. You don't know how to move. You don't know what's like. This is insanity. You feel me? And then when you even talk about it, it don't change nothing. You feel me? A lot of these people are like rejected cops who couldn't, or people who couldn't make it on the force, or rejected
Yeah.
military. You know what I'm saying? And so they come in there with this broken mentality, this broken shit that wouldn't allow them to even get into the position they wanted, and then they just, you know what I mean, half-ass it through. I think if they really wanted to make a change, they do a real recruiting type situation. You have to
Yeah.
earn these positions, but you have to make it profitable. You know what I'm saying? You have to make it where you get the best of the best. You feel me? You gotta
Yeah.
that's shit. It's because you can't just put anybody in here. You gotta have people with morals, with a certain compass, with a certain behavior temperament. Like it gotta be something in there that makes you separate from the fucking criminals. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Otherwise, you might
Yeah.
as well fuck this shit and just let niggas hold court in the street like they've been saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like want to lock a niggas up if they're gonna go from the street to the street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
There's,
definitely feel.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I definitely feel you on that.
Somebody said, Ghost WTM said intentionally dropped the liquid soap in prison and tried to pick it up. All right, nigga. But yeah, but hey, stuff like that happens. You feel me?
Hey,
Now
no.
that's
Look at the first comment he said. Look at the first comment, bro.
two girls. Are you two girls lovers? I don't. You know what? Real talk. I don't. Who? Wait a minute. He talking to
Yeah.
us?
Yeah.
Nigga, you know what I was about to? I was about to do what I told you I wasn't going to do.
Yeah. I already know.
God bless you for tuning in. You really want to talk about that? We can talk about it afterwards. I'll gladly send you some way to contact us and we can talk about all that shit since you feel tough. That's great. You know what I'm saying? God bless you. Keep you safe. You know what I'm saying? And we're
Yeah.
going to keep it. You know what I'm saying?
I saw
But
it about 10 minutes ago. I just didn't want to ruin the
nigga, I
vibe.
look, man, saw that shit. Like, but listen, I got my professional hat on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Hell yeah.
hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. Interaction is interaction. We'll
I
talk
got
about it
my
later.
glasses on.
You know what I'm saying? You're a nerd, nigga. You scary as hell. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we can talk about it later. We can talk about it later. Uh, nah, he wasn't actually the producer was like, was he actually the CEO? Nah, nigga, but that's some different shit. But we don't really have context about this, so we're gonna go finish wrap this up. I don't know exactly what happened. All we saw is that the woman slapped something out of coffee out of this girl's hand and then
Yeah.
jumped off. So I don't know if this is an ongoing thing. And I'm gonna say this, you can have problems with people in, at your job, right? But the reason why it's so important that we focus on the CEO aspect and the recruiting aspect and all that shit is because you, as a CEO, as an officer, and all these things, and we know that police can be corrupt, but I'm just saying, majority of the time, you're supposed to be able to separate from your reaction from what a criminal would do. You feel me? Or from what a regular person would do on the street. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it shouldn't even be able to boil over like that, right? But
Right.
it almost shows you that they're not even getting people that have that emotional stability. And I hate it even more so that it's black sisters. Like nigga, people got black fatigue for real. Every time I roll a clip on IG, it's another goddamn fight, jumping, shooting, killing, stabbing. You feel me? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
nigga, I'm not a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying, T? I ain't a
Yeah.
hypocrite, but it's melee now. It's not even order. It's not even, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you feel me? It,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, it's because I'm getting older, but shit, nigga, we live. You feel me? So I just don't know what's going on now. And I just, I don't like the representation of how it makes us look. I don't like the fact that you can't even get a fair shake. We couldn't even get a fair shake in the first place in the judicial system. Now you don't even know if you can make it to court because of some bullshit that you got caught up into just being in the jail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's we got it. You know, and that's an
So
example of people that's watching and governing over you that's allowing this type of shit to happen. And the reason why they're allowing this type of shit to happen is because they down with the same shit. They down with the same
exactly.
shit. So they
Yeah.
sitting back and they're like, okay, yeah, that, and it's not supposed to be like that. What do you think we could do to make a change? Or is there anything that can be changed?
Man, the only thing we could do to make change is like you said in the beginning. They gotta start vetting people.
Yeah, real
They
shit.
gotta start reading resumes for real.
Yeah.
Read the resume.
But they gotta make it where it's worth motherfucking while. They gotta make it where it's like, you know, people who really are about that life are willing to come and do that because they still have to deal with the criminals and everything like that, right? So, but they gotta have some people in there that really won't change. That really, you gotta make it worth a motherfucker's while to want to go into that junk. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You just, pay them shit and expect them to deal with shit. You feel what I'm saying? That's just real shit. They really have to up the vetting process. They really have to really determine the quality of the people they're trying to bring in if they really want quality in what they're doing. And they can't just go do interviews like they did in Clinton County and do a little interview and show you the best part of that fucking ass jail. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then pretend like we don't know that it's hell over here. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's
Yeah.
real shit. You got anything else to add, G?
Another thing they could probably do is have more courses where they teach these type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but that's part of the vetting process. Like,
yeah,
some jobs you got to do like 3 interviews. You got to do, you got to take an assessment test. You got to do this, that, and the third. And I don't know all what they got to do as police. I don't know all they got to do. Let me say that first, but it got to be something more thorough than just we need motherfuckers in here. You feel
yeah,
me? Because at that point, it just feel like, hey, we need people. You need a job, we'll pay you what to do this. And it's like okay, cool. But that don't mean you getting quality. You getting quantity over quality. You getting bullshit with me versus ads. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah. But that's all I had to say about that, man. You want to say anything else before we close out?
Nah, that's all I got for now.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll talk about that other situation down at the bottom in a minute. All
Cool.
right, next time we'll
All
catch
right,
y'all cool.
y'all.
Next time.
All right,
Deuces.
one.